to talk about this new guitar for a second because that appeared on the day that this came in the mail and I didn't have it open. I had it acclimating in the box. And the new one, when I called the store about it, he said everyone's raving about it. It's not going to last long. They weren't going to budge on the price whatsoever. It's basically a rare 1960s Gibson J50 where they got rid of the adjustable side of things and the luthier put new frets on it and changed the bridge to where this place took it off or never listed it. They just had a lot of work done to it, and when they listed it, it had been up for 4 days, and it was no doubt going to sell. It was one of those great values according to Reverb, but I called that night because I thought there was a stain on it, like because it didn't look like regular playware like this. And the sound hole, it was kind of down real low. And as soon as I spoke to the guy, I said I have to have this. But I didn't go and pick it up. I decided to let them ship it again. So now I have that in my head, the shipping. Now you're not going to believe this thing when you guys see it. It's a slope shoulder dreadnought. Gibson J50 from 1960 with 2 pickguards. And it's interesting because I was watching this video with Johnny Cash, and I really like that big pickguard look. And this just popped up right after that. Like Johnny Cash had a pickguard that almost looked like an electric guitar shape squashed in on his acoustic playing. You can see him playing with Luther on YouTube. And I was just really admiring that big pickguard look, and this popped up. And I live in Holyoke, and they almost sounded like you didn't want to sell it because it was like the crown jewel of this place by far. I can't believe it, guys. I'm going to be so at ease once I get my hands on this because I'm so nervous because this is going to complete the collection for sure. I got the gospel, and people are raving about those. All of those on Reverb are sitting in somebody's cart right now. All the ones that are even remotely close to the one I got. Because these rare things are getting snatched up, man. New ones pop up from time to time, but I almost wish I went to pick it up, but with an Uber or whatever. But I didn't want to do anything with my PayPal right now. I'm about to abandon PayPal. I think I'm gonna get everything I need and just lay low and get back to making money. But so now this is on my mind. You guys aren't gonna believe when you see it. A J50, a slope shoulder with 2 pickguards and a very skinny neck like an electric guitar, and very narrow nut, which I can play because I have long skinny fingers. If I had short, fat sausage hands, it would never work. As far as small body acoustics now, small body Gibson acoustics, this is as good as it gets. This is the one, man. The one that got away. I found it. How often in your life do you get to find the one that got away, man? So I gotta call this guy because it's a long story, but I gotta call this dude. I suppose if he wanted to really call me, he could have seller's remorse, I don't know, but this was my original guitar. He bought it from a place. I live in Massachusetts. This store is in Massachusetts, right? He bought it from Michigan, had it worked on in Michigan from elderlies, like I was saying in the part 1. He had all the work done to it. Almost $1,000 worth of work done to this the neck reset on a Gibson compared to a Martin is much harder. It's much more complicated. That's why it's denoted as number 2. They write neck reset 2. And I said, do you know what this means, man? No, he had no idea. He knew how to ship it to me in drop D. That's why the thinnest, the strings 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sound normal. So I could play whatever. And I asked him, what do you think about the tone on this? He said, it sounds okay. No, this is a ladder braced guitar and short scale with what looks to be 2-piece mahogany back, mahogany sides. It's beautiful, beautiful small pickguard. This is the best. This is the best example of the LG 2 3/4. Flat out. It's the most visually appealing. This is the one, man. This is downtown sounds, bro. Honestly, my other one's in the other room. Look at the original bridge on it. The new saddle, created by elderlies who mysteriously disappeared off reverb. And the nut actually blends in really nice. So it doesn't stand out at all. There's some kind of like grainy look to it. The tuners are they definitely need to be clean, but they're not tarnished like my 1950. They're not visually tarnished. Brazilian rosewood on this guitar. That's not going to show up in the lighting. Brazilian rosewood fretboard and bridge. And it's inside it's stamped LG 3/4. And this guitar smell, it doesn't have a bad smell at all. It doesn't smell exactly like my other LG 3/4. But it's not bad, it's very similar. I gotta get this ball of dust out of it. And if you go on Reverb sold listings, see, this wasn't listed right to begin with. They actually had it listed as LG 4 3/4. See, this is a workers owned, called workers owned co-op. A lot of them are still figuring things out as they go, I bet. Well, hopefully they know how to ship. So they misnamed it. But if you go up on Reverb and you look at Downtown Sound's sold listings and go to acoustics and go to Gibson, find this. It's got no abuse to it, whereas my other one had all sorts of, it's got a lot of mojo, my other one though. This has no real abuse, it just has the solid sound hole where, like, honest. Look at each little segment of it. Now that's a thumbnail maybe. See that? Whereas the other one has all these cracks. It has all this going on with it. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. The other's residing in that rare Arlo case too. This has I don't think I can get into the cases. That's too much gear talk, but I have basically a newer but 100% accurate soft case for this, because the original one is in 2 pieces, which I do have. But with the drop D, if you make your D, you can go. That's why I don't wear sweatshirts and play. And I really want to be jamming the blues, which I do in the key of E. But I had to inform you guys. I I had to tell you that once this new double pickguard J50 comes in the mail, this is a wrap. It's going to be a wrap. I don't know how long it's going to take to come from Northampton. It's not like it's shipping from another state, so I gotta try to keep my cool. I really, really wish I just went over. No, I didn't. So that's what it is. But this is one of a kind, but that is even next level. People were losing their mind over that at that store. You can tell when you call and you ask about something that's for sale, and the sales associates are kind of elusive, like, yeah, I hope he really doesn't file. A lot of people are asking about it. They're asking if you can take trades on it. They're asking for this and that. And I just put it up, bro. I put my money where my mouth was and just boom, done. And in the process, screwed up my PayPal. I can't get into that now. So I think I'll be done with PayPal. But that, no, I wouldn't be able to live without that. I got to get my hands on that. People were losing their mind over this. You're not going to believe it. And then my collection is truly, it's over with. It's done. It's over with. And if for those of you that don't know, the J50, the nut width and the skinny neck on it, I bought this sight unseen, but that's not going to be for everybody. It's got that pointed pickguard where it's point in 3 places. It's like a large pickguard. It's a crazy looking guitar. And seeing Johnny Cash, like I was saying, playing with that big pickguard prior to that was almost like a precursor. I saw it first thing in the morning. It had been listed for 4 days. Saw it first thing in the morning and had bought it by the end of the day. And there was so much stress trying to figure it all out. I called the store about 15 minutes before they closed. And based on what the guy said, I knew it was going to be gone. It had watchers, it had offers on it. He told me himself. He packaged it up now, he's sending it to me. And I can't wait to share it with you, man. I'm going to be a nervous wreck until then. Especially with this job. Because I already got out early. Once for something like this recently. And they didn't come until the very last minute. So it would just be my luck that I don't get out early and they come early. So, but I'm going to get the date. I'll get it worked out. No, because this is it, man. This is the one. I got the one that got away. I got slope shoulder dreadnought. That's incredibly rare. And I literally can't wait to show you. And I can't wait to show you this under better light. But you can see. As far as small body Gibson flat tops, this is the holy grail as far as I'm concerned. This is a holy grail for me. Show me something better. And I called elderlies during this whole deal process. I said, I asked the place that did the repair, because basically he brought it to them and they said in this guitar's lifetime it's going to need the neck reset. As good as new. Wow. But he said, yeah, and we see a lot of these guitars, which I found surprising because these are rare. And he kind of tried to downplay this model, like, yeah, the string tension, the thin neck. I said, yeah, I'm familiar with this model. This is the best example. There's a couple that pop up and they're usually in pretty horrific shape of these. They're usually decimated, or they're off in Germany somewhere and they're still decimated. Kind of ugly looking, a lot of them, frankly. There's nothing ugly about this. Is a guitar all about looks? Of course not. But looks draw you in. And the sound and everything else, the feel. Whatever works for you. But let me tell you, if I was calling inquiring about a Yamaha that had no offers on it, and no views, and no watchers, and no one gave a hell about it, you know what I'm saying? I know what the hell I'm doing with this stuff. So my next thing will be showing you that in person, but I can't wait. I gotta work this weekend, and then I don't know, I pray that the delivery isn't on Tuesday, because that's what it was the last time, and that's the day I have to, every Tuesday I fill in for this maintenance man that's been doing this for 10 years, and it's one hell of a day every Tuesday, making it very hard for me to get out. I can't do that. I should have done this. I should have took the Uber or whatever. I just hope for one more successful shipment to complete my collection with the best one of all. This, I mean, they're all incredible, but this one was 4 days. They listed it 4 days ago, and you know stuff sits for a long time. This was about to go. It's got a pickguard on this side, a pickguard on this side. And you know a thing about those J50s, because there's no sunburst on those. See, this is called a sunburst, and this is like the nicest example I've ever seen. But the J50 doesn't have the sunburst. So they actually use a higher tier quality of wood on a J50. Meaning that because there's no burst to cover up any flaws or imperfections in the wood, they just have a plain natural top. And so the wood selection is of a higher grade. And the ones from the 60s, Gibsons, are very controversial, bro. Like, a lot of changes happened with Gibson in the 1960s. They were doing a lot of different things. Maybe they were going after the electric guitar sound or style. Maybe they were going after the Beatles. Or you know, it's up to you to interpret, but a lot of changes were happening. But I have an eye for stuff. I have an eye for this particular store, and they didn't want to let this thing go. I really should have I can't keep, now I'm ruminating. But I'm waiting for the next update, which is on the way. You know, the label's been created. He told me he's shipping it off today, he told me that yesterday, so. No, I'm going to be glued to the updates like a hawk, and it's only coming from Northampton. just nervous because it's the biggest delivery of all. This is not like some Sweetwater thing where, there's a million of them on back order. This is 100% one of a kind, man. Will never be found again in your or my lifetime. Because I got the eye for it, bro. I can't wait to show you, man. And this, I can't wait to show you the sound of this. I'm going to immediately start learning drop D. Because you can't play my normal stuff. That's the way it is here. And I haven't been playing either, so. He said this isn't good for fingerstyle or something. I'll be the judge of that when I'm up for that. But how far are we go? 20 minutes? Yeah, I don't think I'll go for the full 45 this time. Be sure you watch part 1 and 2. And stay glued to the bell because there's something real exciting coming and I couldn't wait that long. This is like a preview of it. This guitar's in immaculate shape compared to the Rhode Island one, which they both have loads of character. This is the one that, see, I try to lean in with this guitar, there's no body to it. This is the one that inspired everything. I can't wait to get that dreadnought, slope shoulder dreadnought, to put a cap on all this. And then just get back to work. I'll be so at peace. Thank you, God, for my subscribers, my friends, my family, my ambition, my goals. Everything I'm about to do. All these new subscribers that have popped on the channel mysteriously. Part of it's to do with my strategy, I think. And my strategy sometimes gets me in trouble because I'm what this world needs is a rock and roll rebellion. That's what's missing. Somebody who says this to authority, a respectful guy, a thoughtful guy, an endearing guy, but doesn't pull any punches, doesn't suffer fools gladly, goes his own way entirely. And I'm not talking about a catchphrase. Has something to say, knows how to say it. So, what do I mean by get me in trouble specifically? Sometimes just me making a comment on YouTube. Just this morning, comment popped up saying, we've removed your comment, and if you make another one like this, your channel will be terminated. I've never seen that before in my life. I'm not going to say what the comment was, but it wasn't even bad. It was something along the lines of, how I put it, say some people would be better off if they didn't, let's just say, have kids so early or something. Put it that way, like, or maybe even, well, let's leave it at that. Right? Everyone in such a hurry. And I don't think I have a strike or anything like that, but you can't even say anything. They want to have these platforms, but when you're someone like me who can even articulate something where it's like, where you're not actually, you're using words in a way where you're not offending anyone, you're not using horrific language, or you're getting the point in a way it almost goes over people's heads because it's put in a way that like a writer would write it, like an author from the old days or something. How can you really report somebody for that or get them in trouble for that? I really don't agree with it. Because there's so much trash on the internet, can I say that? There's so much just filth. So to judge a man who just goes to work and doesn't agree with you or whatever, doesn't points out obvious flaws. I notice this in the real world too. A lot of this, it's like basically, if you're a man, you're just kind of almost an expendable tool. Sometimes, if you look capable, it's about how much abuse can you take. So I don't know, I got the one that went away, the one that got away. Right here. City that never sleeps. I hate dogs. I saw a nice one today. I see a nice one all the time in his yard. I really hate dogs now. I hate them. I have some nice dog friends on Insta and whatnot, but on my pet account, but no, I hate dogs, man. I hate them. The barking, the needing to walk and take a crap everywhere. Go all over the park, give people a reason to go all over the city with their little, and then they gotta go out and bark all night. Almost you like to treat them like a football. I'm sorry. What use do you serve at 10:30 p.m.? Unless there's really like, in the old days you might have needed one for hunting, for keeping watch. That's what they originally were for, and as pets, but not for these hipsters to run around the neighborhood looking at their phone, with the one hand on the phone, and another one with the dog. Let me see how many followers I got with no ambition. Before you have ambition, you need a purpose. I don't mean just a purpose, like to be somebody of virtue anyway. I'm tired of that crap. So until I get that guitar, I can't do much of anything. I'm frozen. I wish I had it right now, but in my mind, I do have it. In my mind, I'm already showing it to you. A Gibson J50 with an adjustable bridge, where the adjustable part of it was replaced. It's got new frets. It's got double pickguard, because it was converted from lefty. Originally it was a righty, then now it's converted back. I can't wait to have it. I don't want it in a box. I want it in my possession, man. It's just, it's the most rare, it's like the one of a kind delivery. These people, I've been watching King of Queens, and again, these little clips. And of all the packages, I need it now. I need it right now. This is not like some little Sweetwater thing. Although I might have to get a case from him because it didn't come with a case. He's putting it in a gig bag. Didn't come in with a case, but I'll be at peace when the Sweetwater order comes in. But I need to. I gotta get this. I would imagine it wouldn't take as long coming from the next city over as opposed to Michigan. Compare Michigan to Massachusetts, to another state. to another city, next to where I am, within Massachusetts. No. So it's gotta be less than like 5 days, right? But when I checked today, it still said what it said previously, which is label created. There's 4 steps: on the way, and then out for delivery, which is the most close situation. And the whole thing hit me on the day when this arrived. So it almost made this bittersweet. It was like, geez, I gotta figure this out first, and then I'll open the LG 2, and I already own an LG 2 3/4. These rare Gibsons, these are gonna skyrocket. I could see this being worth 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not gonna say anything else, but no, these are like gold. It's more like a 401k plan, if you have the right eye. I can't wait. And you might wonder, how did I do this? You're a maintenance man. Well, I was a salesman. I was a salesman from the age of 17 to 21. And from 21 onwards, I was involved in, well, I'm not going to go too deep into that. But just know I was a salesman, and what people are making now in terms of minimum wage, I was making way back then, plus commission on top of it, per hour. Some people might argue minimum wage is too high. Way too high. So back then, to a kid, right? Because you're a kid back then. A kid making what kids are making now. Imagine making significant commission on top of it. Yeah. Right. And that's because I know how to. I even realize that now. It's like my speaking skills are being underutilized in what I'm doing. I'm watching people around me doing what I should be doing, and I don't know how to boot these mediocre. I don't want to say too much, but do you assert yourself? I mean, how can you assert yourself when you got locked into a position? So I bought very selectively. I didn't buy a bunch of crappy Yamahas, or no disrespect to them. They make great guitars, I bet. I've heard. No one's gonna give a hell about one of those. No one's gonna be losing their mind over that. Or even one of these hand-built from a rare builder that only makes 100 guitars per year or whatever. People aren't gonna care about that either. The way they're going to care about this right here, name Gibson. This is history right here. You're holding a piece of iconic history. This is the one that got away, bro. Be real careful with it, Joe. This is drop D tuning. forgot to ask him if why he decided to ship it that way. Should be back. It's only fair. This room is kind of it's in the works. Beautiful, beautiful wood. And I'll show you the case another time with the bus ticket attached to the handle. Greyhound bus. And I'll show you this under good lighting soon. But I had to tell the story first. Because it's quite the story, and that's basically the Cliff Notes version of it. I'll go into more once I have this slope shoulder that's coming. Dual pickguard that you are not going to believe. I know I've said it, but if you think finding this, because this alone is surprising. As soon as this popped up, I was baffled. Because you'll have to go back and watch my video called Gibson LG2 3/4 that I did a while back that begins to tell the whole story about downtown sounds, which is this. And that will give you the backstory to understand how significant it was for me to actually find this. That's like an Eric Clapton kind of story. It got away and it disappeared and someone popped up with it and you immediately jumped on it and had to have it. That is rare. And it actually is everything I hoped it would be. All I have to do is get this dust out of it, because there was a strange ball of dust in here, and as soon as I went to look at it, it went down to the bottom. You never know what you're going to get with these vintage Gibson or guitars in general. It has amazing lacquer checking to it. This almost feels like it's got a significant checking to it. Like I stated, the most beautiful precision sound hole wear I've seen. So somebody played the heck out of this thing. But not to the degree where they abused it like my other one. And there's nothing wrong with the other one. I had work done to it. It has tons of mojo. I'm just comparing. I've been doing a lot of comparing lately. Hope you enjoy it. But this was carefully kept, and this is the one that inspired it. And the guy went and had all the work done, essentially, and then he shipped it back to me without knowing it. He had all the work done that it needed. Like I said, the new pins, the new saddle, the new nut, the neck reset.